Hello, everyone, and welcome to post-thought conversation between myself and Shadowhaxer.
Oh, so I'm supposed to talk. Hey guys, what's up? I'm also
Yeah,
known as Keith Mitchell, but yeah, I'm Shadowhaxer.
yeah, call him Chief Shadowhaxer. Yeah, I'm Gazilius, living the dream. And we're going to talk about EVO, fighting game stuff, like the winners of EVO. We're going to talk about, what we think about the game's health for each game, what we thought about EVO as an entirety, and the game that came before EVO, was it multiverse? I could call it it's
Mul-
multiverses.
Multiversus.
Multiverses. I keep calling it multiverses. I keep like multiverse.
Think it like this. It's WB's multiverse. Multiverses.
Yeah, multiverses. I always get the time mixed up. But anyway, before we get into those topics, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell as well, and you'll be notified to go live with cool content. Out the way, let's just start talking away. So, this weekend was EVO, and EVO was an amazing fighting game tournament. From their main games were Street Fighter V, Guilty Gear, Strive, Mortal Kombat Ultimate, Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat 11, essentially, Tekken 7, King of Fighters 15, Multi Blood Type Lumina, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and Skullgirls. And I think all the games got represented pretty well. All had high caliber things. But man, this over 12-hour tournament. At least the final day, if you watch it on Sunday, was pain, Pecco. It was a drag.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
and they had some great storylines and things about it. You know, me winning Tekken 7 was inevitable. The moment I saw Austin Ash got knocked out, I was like, yeah, he's just gonna take the whole thing. It's over. And that was something I knew was gonna happen. Wawa winning Dragon Ball for France is great. We did it. C'est la vie. Even though I'm Creole, but we did it. Us Frenchmen has taken over the world. And I guess like one of the more interesting aspects of it, like each champion, etc., sort of happened. I want to talk more about like the event, not the event itself, like it's of a champion to me, but we can talk about, I guess, let's talk about like the announcement that came posted. Tekken has done a very weird teaser trailer where it just show Kazuya's face, look with a graphical update. So, are we getting Tekken 8? Are we getting Tekken Tag 3? We don't know what we're getting.
Are we getting a Tekken remaster? That's not out of the realm of possibilities either.
That's true. It's Tekken Remaster, and the only game I want remastered would be Tekken 3 because all the Tekken games are great. I like all the Tekken 3 is my favorite Tekken because all the modes you can play after it.
Wait,
Tekken,
wait. Even Tekken 5?
Tekken 3 over Tekken 5 for me.
Because you said all the Tekkens were great. I have a dislike for Tekken 5.
I have a dislike of Tekken 5. Well, 5 original. 5 was busted. I mean, Fang and Steve, but in general, Tekken 3 is like most my favorite. I don't know. All Tekkens are generally pretty fun. Tekken 4 is like weird though. That's something I would not recommend to people unless they like play a whole bunch of other games first. But yeah, Tekken Remaster's not the way. I probably want the Remaster 3 though, because I like to play Tekken 4 with better graphics, the Tekken Beach Ball, all the team battle stuff. You get to play with Gon, the lizard. That's kind of cool.
I don't want any Tekken remasters. They need to go forward, not backwards, not doing this kind of rehashing of old games like other companies are doing right now.
Yeah,
No Tekken remaster. Either give us the Tekken Tag Tournament 3 or give us Tekken 8 and be done with it, please.
yeah, that's true. And I guess another announcement from the next group of people, I think Grand Blue Fantasy, man, that fell on deaf ears. So Grand Blue Fantasy is there was some controversy to it, and I'll get into that shortly. Well, controversy. A player named Shinku made top 8. Shinku has been, be politely, I'm going to curse here, so I apologize, everybody. Is generally a piece of shit. He's a general creep. He's a general creepo to females, and kind of, I would. He's a predator. Leave it as that. He has taste amongst things that aren't kosher. I can't say on this website. Okay, it's on this video, so we'll leave it as that. He's disgusting, and the fact that he was banned from all major Grand Blue Fantasy tournaments, but somehow got to Evo shows something I want to definitely talk about Evo. I think Evo staff people should be in touch with other tournament organizers and know people on ban lists so this doesn't happen again. I think that's a
When
big
you
idea.
mentioned when you mentioned that to me yesterday, I thought there was this global or this widely known ban list that tournament events paid attention to, or at the very least, owners of these events that talked to other people who ran events and were like, "Hey, this guy doesn't need to be here. This guy doesn't need to be here." Like, okay, a good example is when infiltration was put on blast. Everybody's like, "Nope, we don't want him anymore." So I don't know what happened here. That was a big drop of the ball.
That was a big drop, exactly. And for those who know, Infiltration, legally convicted for beating his wife in Korea, non-American Korea, and he stole money from several FGC tournaments in Korea. So whatever you want to believe in, he's a thief and a beater. So whatever, there's evidence among them. Look up them fighting words. You'll find tons of article and research about it. We're not going to get into that, but he did those things. So that's out the way. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I thought they would talk to like the big and small people, because he was banned all over like every other major platform. I mean, he was so hated when Shinko was there, made top 8. The commentators did not talk to him or talk about him. They just talked about the match. And then when he lost, the crowd just erupted when he lost to the Spaniard player. It was really nuts. It was like, I couldn't believe this.
Because he shouldn't have been there, and they were happy when he was gone.
Yeah, exactly. He shouldn't have been there. It's gross. It's like, yeah. And then that's the thing. Like, I hope that for the next EVO tournament, because again, this is a small blemish, which will be taken care of. But please talk to local and other tournament organizers, the big ones, and community members, because there is a large Guilty Gear Discord created by one of your top players there, Zombie. He has one of the large Discords for Grand Blue. Please talk to them, and they organize things and stuff. It's one of those things that, please talk to the communities hand so you have an idea, because they don't want people like this sneaking through the door. And that creates a bad precedent, because it's like, well, if EVO didn't ban me, it doesn't matter, No, you're banned. That's it. You get out of here. Go work a 9 to 5, whatever.
Yeah, I agree. If you've been banned from other tournaments, then you should not be at quote unquote the biggest stage for fighting games in the world. And the fact that they let you in and compete and didn't do anything about it is a blemish on EVO, especially given the fact that EVO has already had a blemish that they're trying so hard to cover up.
Yeah,
so
this was
pre
management. Yeah, that was real bad. Yeah, screw that guy too. But yeah, and so the announcement that came from Grand Blue Fantasy is they're going to have a world tournament league. Oh man, that's so bad.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's not going to help, because Grand Blue, much like other fighting games now, just want rollback netcode or need rollback netcode. Rollback netcode is just the gold standard for net play. We need that, okay? That's the most important thing. Like, regardless if you play a game long term or short term, you've got to have that good netcode experience. Like, speaking of netcode experience, Dragon Ball announced they're having, rollback. Persona 4U or Persona Arena 2, that's having rollback. Oh man, like Samurai Showdown by SNK, after they announced their achievements with SNK, they announced, and SNK just blew a lot of damn water. We got a new game they're working on, DLC for King of Fighters 13. We get Team Orochi. We got Kim Capon coming back, Shingo coming back. We got a project, Gato, or a new Fatal Fury game in the works. Samurai Showdown getting rollback netcode next year. Like, that's good, because people will play these games,
Yeah. I mean, not to bring up the whole skeletons in the closet thing for SNK, but this is good.
I mean, yeah, it's good. What do you mean skeletons in the closet? Did they have money from Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah.
Man, look, I'll be honest with anyone listening. I don't care about that much, because that's just capitalism in a nutshell. If you take money, it is. I mean, who else is going to lend money to them to get it? If they couldn't get money through other means and they got it that way, that's the way it is. Yeah. Saudi Arabia is Saudi Arabia. That's in a nutshell.
It's just again, like you said, it's politics. It's a lot of politics, and yeah, I don't want to go into that.
But the thing is, like, King of Fighters is popular mostly outside of outside of Japan. Like, it's heavily played in China, heavily played in Latin America and South America.
Yeah,
it's played there too, and in Europe. So it's like it's an international banger. So it is what it is. But
the question, let me ask you this before you go on. So where exactly is this Grand Blue Fantasy going to fit in at? The community league? Where is it going to fit at?
I don't know. The thing though is that and the thing about, like, people was saying like Arc Systems is too many mouths to feed, but all these
like
people,
me?
yeah, well, because you don't play anime games.
There's still too many games.
It doesn't matter though. No one had this complaint with Capcom's bumping like 5 games at a time during the 90s.
I mean, they only really had one real fighter. That's
See,
the obvious.
you see that argument of One Real Fighter. The same thing people feel about anime games. They feel that one game is One Real Fighter, or in some instances, most anime gamers feel that Guilty Gear or maybe Dragon Ball is the quote unquote one true fighter, quote unquote. But that's the point.
DNF Duel.
DNF Duel exists. That's a fun. But think that all these
Blaze
games
Blue.
have Blaze Blue. Yeah, it doesn't matter because all those games have communities that still played actively and still made to get it without it. Grand Blue still had good numbers despite that blemish. People came to play that game. So did the side tournament of Persona. So did DNF and Duel's side tournament as came to us. So it's like people are still going to play those games. It's still going to be enjoyed.
Is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle dead?
No, it has rollback, so it's fine.
People still play that. So add that to the pile.
Yeah, but people still play that. That's okay. That's kind of Persona. Yeah, Persona 4 still play. It's rollback. So yeah,
talking about mouse to feed.
Yeah, people. And the thing is that all these anime games play exclusively different, and that people enjoy them, and I'm okay with that. The more, the merrier. The problem is that you don't have to play them all. Just pick the one you like and stick with it.
True.
Yeah. Like I said, Capcom did this back in the 90s. You had Rival Schools, you had Street Fighter EX, you had Street Fighter 2, you still had Super Turbo, you had CVS 2. Like, come on. Like, no.
So, what about the biggest news about the Grand Blue League?
That's going to be going. It's going to be around the world and online.
Well, no, that a familiar person is coming back and will be spearheading it.
Who is spearheading it?
Mike Ross. You know you want to say
it. Who Mike Ross? Who Mike Ross? No, I find it interesting. I mean, I'm glad he found work after things he's been going through. Like Mike, don't speak ill of Mike Ross. Mike Ross went through after the Street Fighter V thing. He got a bit depressed. He didn't want to make a lot of content. He kind of went reclusive. He took care of himself, and then we started seeing him back recently in years, like entering small tournaments and being happy. And I'm glad he landed a gig doing this. Though I don't know if he plays the game extensively or not, but I'm happy to see him in some capacity in the scene. He's a very positive guy. He's always done work positive over things he's done. He's very naturally hype and charismatic. I'm just glad he managed to took care of himself mentally before doing anything else, because I was deeply worried, like, dang, he's just gone, but he's back, and I'm glad he's better than he was before, you know?
Yeah, that was a big thing with him just disappearing after a while. And you know, that's something that a lot of people just don't realize, that your mental health, when that goes out the window, you will hurt. You will hurt, and the people who are surrounded by you will be hurt because they're wondering, hey, you okay? Or are you going to do anything crazy? So it's good to see him that he's coming back.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if he plays fighting games or not. I don't really care about, like, oh, he's this good, he's skillful, he's this and that. That doesn't really matter as much to me. He's always been like that person who hypes up games, has been around. I mean, he already lost, like, what was it, 10-0 or 5-0 to Jago, and that was funny to me. Jago, that was kind of funny. So that was it.
Everybody gets their butt beat.
Oh yeah, but he took it in stride, and he took it in stride, and the meme was kind of funny. It's the opposite of some other people who got, like, you know, beat bad and they didn't take it well. And speaking of that, man, I got to give a shout out to all the people who got salty over Twitter when losing and posting, like, epithets. It's hilarious, man. That was a funny thing of EVO, post EVO thing. Like, oh my god. Like, oh man, that was a good wake up. That was a good wake up call for a lot of people. Like, you're living in your own head. Like, yo, you're playing against, like, people. If you're good, you're good. If not, that's it.
So speaking of EVO, let's get back on track with that, because
Yeah.
we can be here all day.
True.
And this is your show. I should be taking over your show, but I'm going to take over your show for.
I mean, you take over everything else. You're the guy who runs the Outerhaven, so it's your show, at the end of the day.
So, but I'm lazy. I like to dictate. But what was your favorite moment from EVO, and what was your least favorite moment EVO?
My least favorite moment in EVO was the downtime and the number of ads that was during the Street Fighter V top 8. That just, like, drained the life out of me. That was so horrible. That was just the word. Like, the way they spaced those ads and done it, it's insane. Like, I think somebody provided a breakdown that the ad time for Street Fighter V was insane. They took let's see, like, the ad breaks was roughly almost like over 25 minutes, and the average ad was like 5 minutes and a half. It was just, and they put 5 ad breaks on average. Like, it was insane. It was too much.
Yeah, yeah, and then we were just sitting and talking while the ads were going and going, hey, they just had a set, and then there's another ad or another blast from the past. It's like, come on, guys, just can we just see the match?
Yeah, please stop.
Nobody wants to sit here until 1 o'clock in the morning, which we did to watch the final set of
Yeah, Street
Guilty
Fighter
Gear
Five.
because I
Yeah,
really wanted to see that, and I left. I like, you know what? I don't play the game, though Matt keeps trying to tell me to play it, but I was excited to see the sets and I just couldn't. My eyes were tired. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bed. I'll see who won in the morning.
yeah. A lot of people did that, and that kind of hurt the numbers. And it's like it is what it is from there. Like my favorite moment of Evo was essentially um, was like Umasho when they hit up all of the like insane happy chaos mixes like shoot gun roll cancel hit. It was definitely their game to win. That it was their tournament to win. The way how it all set up, it was just really still just really strong. Like there's nothing more about it. Like the fact that like Happy Chaos is a terror in the game, very strong character, nothing against it. But when you watch Happy Chaos roll on people, it is the most exciting thing. They're like blah 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 hop kick blah like pow pow. It's like cheap as shit. That tech is disgusting. The plus on block frame data, the hitting the concentration setups, but the guard breaking with the gunshots, it's all broken. But man, it looks good getting hit by. It really looks good. Playing against it, the worst thing ever happened to you. But that was really hype. Was watching them just roll pain trains on everybody. They're just insane. I gotta give them credit for that. So them winning Evo was like the highlight for me because USA number one.
Okay.
We got the right rainbow flag one, to put it that way.
All right. I have to say that my least favorite was also the amount of ads and whatnot throughout the entire event, especially during grand finals. Like, come on, guys, we want to see these sets. We want to go to bed. We got to get up and go to work in the morning. I get it. You want to hype things up. You got to pay bills, whatever. I mean, you got PlayStation foot in the bill. Well, I mean, come on now. But
Yeah.
that was very annoying. Favorite thing to see was pretty much the set of IDOM going through these Japanese monsters and taking them down. No disrespect to them. They were all amazing in their own right, but people did not expect IDOM to go as far as he did with Laura of all characters.
Yeah, Laura's like mid top ish, and he just made some solid reads and adjustment with the board. But as you watch more and more like the Street Fighter top 8, you learn that this game is just insanely aggressive. Like defense was like, don't get hit. That was literally the defense I had to give you. Don't get hit. Just don't get
The
hit.
Rashid versus Laura matchups were pretty much it. It's like, all right, who's going to hit first? Who's going to finish a combo and not drop it first?
Yeah, who's going
And
for the proper reset? And I remember it was Gotcha-kun. Yeah, it was Gotcha-kun. Gotcha-kun decided to switch to he switches V skill. Yeah, he switches Z skill where he went for the air dash. Yeah, V skill. He went for the air dash, which I think was really good because Laura doesn't assist the anti airs. But then, what made it like mwah, chef's kiss is that item kept Gotcha-kun Rashid grounded and just ruined face on them, as well as I believe there was a set where they played on I think it was a Honda stage where item. This is the smartest play I've seen. Could have just did EX Ansia. No. To make sure that they were locked in frame, activated V trigger, which freezes the screen for a bit to guarantee the anti-air. That was this is why like smartest person in the room. And they got it and won the match. That was like the smartest stuff I've seen. That was like top brain stuff. Well, I gotta give this to item. Item's the god killer. He killed all the Japanese players except for Kawano, but Kawano's
I feel he would have beat one. But I also looked at it, Idon was already on set, and he was like, all right, beat this guy, now I got to fight this guy. And he was tired, too. He was tired. He was excited. Yeah. And he rolled it back. He reset the bracket.
Yeah, he hit the drain. All he needed was one more, and that was it. Yeah. I just felt like it could have been for fatigue. I felt that there was adjustments that probably could have been made from adjusting from Colin's 100 hands combo to knockdown, as well as eating those counters, which I believe the EX counters, a hard knockdown, really like let the train run on them. Like if there was a way for him to like bait the counter, he would have probably consistently bait the counter. because I know they was trying to do that a couple of times, like using like crouching normals, but it is what it is. It was a solid game. Like item deserves all the preparation of
Oh
being a
yeah,
top player.
yeah. And I saw him tweet last night before I went to bed, and you could see that he was salty. And there is no reason to be salty.
I mean, he did.
You did amazing work last night. You did amazing.
Yeah, you saved you saved East Coast. You did East Coast proud. That's all I can say. Yeah, shout out to East Coast, the best coast.
Um, Other than that, I mean, I didn't watch most of the other ones because I was only concerned about Guilty Gear and Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Mortal
Those are the
Kombat
ones I wanted to see.
Mortal Kombat felt like a bit of a slog to me because that's Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11, I honestly think Mortal Kombat X was the better game between that and Mortal Kombat 11. Even though Mortal Kombat 11 has a lot of jank stuff in it, I think Mortal Kombat 11 was just a better game.
But what was also interesting
X is a
was
better game. Sorry.
the hype that Multiversus got at EVO.
Yeah,
That was interesting.
that was interesting. My take about the Multiversus game, my take of that game is that I don't like how people are saying currently free to play model is the future. We should all embrace blah blah. That's how it works. No, the marketing machine behind Warner Brothers and how their product works and how they have it is a huge factor based on that because there are tons of other games that are free to play that barely get off the ground or at least get recognition and they're really good. Like I don't like which one. I'm not a big fan of like platform fighters or arena fighters, but Rushdown Revolt is pretty solid. It has a cancel system and a burst system from other games. There's Brawlhalla, which is pretty okay, solid, and there's them Fighting Herds, which is a solid. It's not a platform fighter, but a solid like indie beat 'em up. My friend Jimbo, automatic. He is the Punch Planet EVO champion. Punch Planet's a fun like fundamental fighting game. So as Fantasy Strike's fun too. So it's like it's not the fact that free to play or easy to go is the way. Like it's just also marketing and reach. Do you
Multiverses.
think?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like to put it politely, like more people are willing to try. Like, and I do mean this. Maybe they'll do this in the future. If Street Fighter 6 was free to play over. And I do mean this, no insult to SNK. If SNK made their new Fatal Fury game free to play, I feel like there'll be much more instant people play Street Fighter. Street Fighter is just a bigger brand, at least in America.
See, here's the problem I have with this whole free to play thing, and it's pretty lengthy, so bear with me.
Go.
One, this is not the first fighting game that did free to play. Okay, you don't like Brawlhalla, but Brawlhalla did this. Killer Instinct also did this, the reboot when it came out. This is also something that's not new when you look at other game genres. First-person shooters have done this for quite some time. So that's one. They show you that it is possible for a game to be free to play and be successful. Two, Multiversus is not only being backed by one of the biggest companies on the planet, which is made even bigger thanks to their merger recently, but they have iconic characters that people know. Superman, Batman, stuff from Cartoon Network, Scooby-Doo, Steven Universe, blah, blah, blah. And they know more characters are going to come. So they have the recognition behind them. People are going to play this. Going back to this whole free-to-play thing, if you think about this, is it really free-to-play? Think about that for a second.
Yeah, exactly. It could be play to win or pay to win or pay to etc. Exactly. Like
you're playing. Okay, you get the game right now and you play it. Because one, it's open beta. It's not the finished game. So that's one. Two, if you buy the full version of this open beta, which a lot of people probably don't want to do, you're getting access to the entire roster. Great. But if you go the free-to-play route, which I really hate saying because, again, it's open beta, you still have to deal with this rotation of characters, which is good in one thing because you can say, hey, maybe you jump in and Superman's playable and you want to play Superman. Fantastic. Okay, but what if you want to play the other characters? Well, you either have to wait till the rotation comes in play or you buy the game. It's not like it's not like Blaze Blue or not Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, where you go, I want to buy this character. No, you either buy the entire game or you wait. Take your pick.
Right, and here's the thing too.
When you play a fighting game, you want to know the strengths and the weaknesses of these characters. You want to know how this character plays. Are you gonna wait until that character comes in rotation, or are you gonna go, you know what? I'm just gonna bite the bullet and buy the game and test out all these characters. Multiversus is in a weird position right now because of his recognition. I don't want to say it's a replacement for Smash, but it is. It really is because it has better netcode. It controls a lot better. It's multi-platform. The marketing system is through the roof, and it was just featured at EVO, replacing Smash.
Right.
I mean, it has so much stuff going for it right now. It's ridiculous. If you were to ask me if it's a better game than Smash, I would tell you, based on those things, yes, it is. It simply is a better game just because of the things it has going for it. Nintendo has its marketing machine and its characters, and everybody knows Mario and all of them. Fantastic. This right here has a chance to be even bigger than Smash. Just the fact that it's multi-platform. Just that. And it works. It works. I played it on my Xbox and played people on PC. I played it on my PC and played people on the console. I played it on my PlayStation and played it on people on different platforms. It works. It freaking works. The controls are tight. The gameplay is fun. But going back to this whole free-to-play thing, no, I don't think free-to-play is the future of fighting games. Great that some games are doing it. Fantastic. But I don't see, the big fighters going free-to-play. I don't see Mortal Kombat going free-to-play. I don't see Street Fighter going free-to-play. I don't see that happening. No, I don't see that happening.
As well as the thing, too, the problem with this is that because it's a fighting game, because people know there'll be inherent advantages, disadvantages, you're free to play, right? And what would happen, let's say, a character like Batman. Batman is the strongest character in the game, right? Well, the joke is I think Hurt Velma is, but anyway, let's just say Batman is the strongest character in the game. I don't know how it works. Batman is never on free-to-play motion, so you want to increase your chances of winning. You can't play Batman. What are you going to do? Or as well as you have to pay to win that. So, and let's say Batman is locked behind another tier list. Let's say you purchase the base game, whatever, but Batman is on a character pack, so you have to buy a character pack. At that point, is it pay to win? Because how the balance of the game works, that's a thing too. Rather than like most standard fighting games, you bought the game, here's the additional roster, you play them, and then you pay DLC to get the additional characters, right? And depending on balancing, those characters be stronger, weaker, blah, 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 right? That happens. But in a free-to-play model, it feels more egregious because you have a rotating set of characters, and let's say they rotate you all the weaker side of the cast, right? So you have to... Yeah, as a possibility. In order to entice you to buy the model so you can play it. That would be, at least in some elements of coercion. That would be unfair. Like, a perfect example is, it's like, that's why a lot of at least the fighting games are paid nowadays, try to, like, at least for those who don't play DLC characters, try not to make the DLC characters too strong, because if they're too strong, it just feels unfair. I mean, there was a joke back in the day for King of Fighters 13 that DLC tier is the way to go. You would play Flameyori, Rekka Kyo, or EX Kyo, and you would play Mr. Karate. And his characters was so much more powerful than the base kit. That's not a good experience, Granted, these characters are cool in what they do, but that's not a good experience. And I think a lot more developers have learned since then not to do that as a gaming design choice. But if it's free to play, I need you to buy the game anyway. So of course I'm going to make power creeps, and maybe intentionally, so you have to buy into that in order to play the game, to have fun, Because why would you play Shaggy if Steven Universe is the best character or something like
that? I wouldn't say Batman's the best character. Just bringing that.
But it's an example.
He's very strong. But I got to get you playing. So you want me to play Guilty Gear? You got to play some Multiversus.
All right, I'll put 2 hours into that. I'll put 2 hours into it and then hate myself later. Okay.
You might enjoy it. But getting back to this whole is free to play the future of fighting games. I mean, these are all assumptions, speculation. I don't think it is, because it's not a feasible model for companies to make money. It just simply is not. But what Multiversus is doing is just like other games that are free to play. Is they're like, oh hey, you can buy these different skins, or you can buy these cosmetics, or you can buy this blah 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 blah. They've already came out and showed you what the first season pass is going to be, and there's stuff that you can pick up. WB is counting on people to buy this game. They're not going to go, hey, we're going to put all our best characters in rotation. And going back, like you said, there could be a thing where the best characters, the top characters, will never go in rotation.
Exactly.
And people will go, oh, I want to play Superman. Buy the game. Exactly. Buy the game.
Exactly.
It's a reason why a lot of fighting games don't do free to play. And I'm not saying it just to say, hey, this is a good thing or a bad thing. I just don't think that this is the future of fighting games. It works so well for first person shooters because there's a lot of people playing first person shooters. And you got to remember, fighting games, for lack of a better word, and people are going to hate me for this, are still niche. It's still niche. It is. Just like role playing games. There
Yeah,
are
more or less.
people who like pew-pewing. There's millions upon millions of people who like pew-pewing.
Oh no, 100%. And I think that like the free to play model being system funny games is interesting, but it's going to be a real test for people in the future to test if it's the viability as well as the non-exploitation matters of it, from power creeping to enforce induced buying and other things as well. And that's something that they're going to have to figure out to do, and that's a thing to deal with. And the thing is, I mean free to play forever. I don't mean like someday you buy the base kit. I pay zilch from start. There's gonna be people who do that. They're like, was it Splitsgate's free? People pay zilch and still haven't bought any of the cosmetics or whatever and still enjoy that game. You know, you could do
Oh,
that.
it's a fun game.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
fun
fun
game.
game. Yeah, and I feel like that's an interesting thing to look into from that. So yeah, I guess that covers all of our topics from post Evo, Evo, post Evo, as well as I'll take on Multiverse. Unless you got anything
I
else to
love
add to the game.
Multiverses. Play
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Just
Like I
play
said,
it.
I'll put an hour into it if you play Guilty Gear and Samurai Showdown. Okay.
I was already playing Guilty Gear. I just purchased Bridget.
You just purchased the DLC for $24.99. Man, that's all right.
No, I just purchased her. I did not buy the season pass. I just bought her.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. Then we should probably get some matches later then. But with that out the way, thanks you guys for checking out the video. This
Oh,
has been,
whoa. We're not done yet. I'm sorry. I told you yesterday I was going to talk about this, and you said it was a good idea. So wait, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Okay?
we're not done yet. All right. Let's go.
We're not done yet. I got beef. I got some beef. So hang on.
Shoot.
We watched the entirety of EVO 2022, and we saw that everybody was there wearing a damn mask. People in production, people on the stage, people in the audience. We at San Diego Comic-Con, we saw people on stream, people presenting or doing presentation of the show, random people on the exhibition floor wearing a mask. But yet, we got TwitchCon, who's owned by Amazon, one of the biggest corporations on the darn planet. I'm really trying not to curse here.
Yeah.
And this company has the nerve to tell people that they're not going to require a mask, they're not going to require vaccination to get access to their event.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who have a problem with being vaccinated, and that's your prerogative. I'm not going to talk about this because I don't want you to, taking this video down. However, I will say that is completely ignorant and irresponsible on TwitchCon's part. And I don't want to hear the crap that they're saying, oh, we're only following the guidelines of the state. We just had San Diego Comic-Con at the same place, and they required masks or vaccination tests. Don't tell people that crap. That's wrong. For every major Twitch streamer and small Twitch streamer, everybody who wants to voice their opinion, they need to tell Twitch that this is wrong, and you need to say, we're not going to this event. The problem is how many people are actually going to do it. I see a lot of people on Twitter going, we're not going. Hit them in their wallet. Hit them in their representation. Tell them this is irresponsible. Because the thing is, I think, it's in California, and, California doesn't believe in what's happening in this world. And we've already seen people either be hospitalized because of COVID and or die because of COVID. There's a reason why this country has over 1 million deaths since this pandemic hit our country. So TwitchCon, you need to man up. This is bad. This is irresponsible on your part.
No, I think I totally forgot about that. But no, I agree with 150% because it's like, it not only is stupid and irresponsible, it shows like, oh, we'll just do it because there are probably some Twitch streamers who are anti-vax and they bring money and they're worth it. Like, that's not a good enough reason. That's actually a terrible reason. Probably the worst reason.
When I complained about PAX East, and PAX East tried their best, I will give them that. But when I complained about that and I wrote the article and talked about it, some moron came in and said, well, the states need to let people come in without vaccination because they need to make their money. Okay, I'd rather be alive than give you my money and be sick and possibly end up dead.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Exactly. I feel like this need of income over like reality is not worth it, because at that point it's like, what's not to be facetious, what's a thousand sick for an extra $100? That's not a good way to think. Once you start going down that mental state, then you're unsavable. That's not how we should look at society. We should think of the most safety we can. In EVO, everyone wore masks. They had the station with the thing. Everyone was all like to the gills, and I respect that, because EVO is going to host like over five-figure people. So five-figure people need five-figure safety.
I was just proud and happy to see that EVO had people wearing masks. Even if you didn't have the vaccine. Okay, great. You don't have the vaccine. Okay, great. You were wearing your mask. You were protecting yourself and the person next to you. Thank you for that. Thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm done.
And with that, he's done. The actual proper endings for this video. This one's a bit of a long one, but if you have heard it way through, thank you guys for checking it out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified, like, let us know what you thought. Like, what you think about EVO? What was your favorite moment? What games do you like, dislike? What do you think Untitled Multiversus is a bit too, out there? And yeah, what do you think about more conventions being safe? Do you think, if you attended EVO, let us know, did you feel safe about the Max and everything? As well as, if you're going to go to TwitchCon, stay safe. And be sure to follow us on our social links below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
This is true love we make it.